Welcome back to another episode of the Money Mentor with Graham Home. And for this session, we're continuing on with the Changing Lives Financially episode. And we have two very, very special guests today who I met many, many years ago, actually. It's almost an anniversary soon this year, I think. But a big welcome. Hang on. 2020? Yeah, we'll get to that soon. But a big welcome to Daniel and Sarah. Hello.
Hey.
How are we?
Good.
Don't be nervous. It's my first time. We'll figure it out. All right, we'll figure it out. A couple of tequilas and we'll be fine,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Only the good ones.
Only the good ones, right? Only the good stuff. So welcome. Let's maybe give everyone at home a bit of a view of who you guys are today, how old we are, family, roughly. We don't have to tell them the address, but what area do we live in? What do we do for work, sort of thing. I think that'd be a good start.
Yeah. You go.
Right. No, you go. This is your turn.
All right. So I'm 37 and I am currently working from home in a national role for a department agency. And we've got two beautiful kids, 9 and almost 5. Daniel, go.
Also 37. I'm a civil engineer. I build your roads and airports and things.
Can I have my own lane, please?
That's right. You know how many people ask me, can you name a bridge up that you built after me? So I'm still
How
trying to
did
get
I waste
own.
my one shot?
Yeah.
Do you get to name them?
No,
No.
unfortunately.
I'm going to have to find. I'm not going to go to bed tonight now until I know who gets to name a bridge.
Surely, you
There's
can
a-
just
there's
pay
a whole
certain amount of money.
That does that, yep.
Yeah.
You can definitely apply for it.
And that you can apply?
Yeah.
I was going to say there's probably a whole anti-bribery campaign around that department too. But anyway, so civil engineer, roads, airports, all that sort of stuff. Very good. Both 37, and whereabouts are you located?
In Western Sydney, in
Western
Penrith.
Sydney. Beautiful. Excellent. Out near Jeremy and Megan before they
Yeah.
Yes, we were
Yes.
just saying before, we'd seen them at the Dan Murphys a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, but we were too shy to say hello or anything. But we're like, we know them.
Well, you can't miss the beard, right?
No, exactly.
So, yeah, because we caught up in the Bella Vista office 2020?
August
2020.
2020.
2020, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, cool. So Western Sydney, 37, young family, 2 beautiful kids. Talk to us, I guess, give us a scenario of pre-infinity. So home, investments, what was going on?
Pre-Infinity, we were, we have our principal place of residence, our main home, which we bought when we were pretty young, 21.
Well done. That
took
would
a
have
bit-
been hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we weren't out partying while the others were, but we took advantage of that home buyers grant that was out
Yep.
for building the new.
Build boost.
Yeah, I think we got an extra 24 grand out of that.
Oof.
So we took advantage of that. So we were about 10 years into that. We'd bought also an investment property somewhere along the way in 2014 up in
Yep.
Queensland. We tried to start our whole investment property
Portfolio journey.
Yes. And we'd had Archer, our first child, was 2 years old, and we were looking to start expanding on that, I guess, a little bit. I just wanted to try and get a bit more financially free before I did that, because the first one was already quite a expensive endeavor.
Yeah, okay.
It's cost a lot. Yeah.
fairly polite. Okay. So what year did you come to Infinity?
In 2020.
2020. Yeah, okay. And what triggered you going, you know what, I've seen stage, podcast, book, whatever. What was the trigger? Where did you find us? And what were you looking for? I mean, you're intellectual young couple. You've done very well for yourself from a young age. You already got an investment on some other investment. Like, what triggered that? I'm going to try and kick some tires and suss something else out here.
It actually happened a couple of years before that.
Okay.
So in 2018, I think I consolidated our debts.
Yep.
After a few interesting choices, you would
Okay.
say. All the things you go through in what not to do,
Yeah.
basically.
So
And-
polite and courteous. Someone fuck me.
The swear words will come out after some drinks.
Yeah.
And I've kind of discovered that we'd owed more on the home loan than we did
When you bought
when
it.
we bought it. Yeah.
Nearly every single person, like, for me in banking, it was like 6-7 years in. People I'd lent money to in year 1 or 2 were coming back for like the pool, the pergola, like had older homes, the pool, the pergola. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like what they've paid off, like roughly 10 grand a year, they're now borrowing 60, 70 grand, and they're back to where the property had gone up, most of them, but they're back to where they started.
Yeah. That's kind of how it was. And that was when I was like, oh shit, I need to do something to get out of this.
So you did that restructure with someone in 2018, but you knew it was kind of getting worse than it should have been, even though you were fixing it at the time.
Well, that's when I started to really put the crunch in. So I started, we started doing these, I guess the strategies, some of the things you actually do, I was kind of learning progressively as we went. I was chopping down on the credit card, we're paying off the home loans, putting everything in we had it in an offset, not a redraw, but same sort of principle at the time.
Trying to put me in a stricter budget.
Trying to put it on a stricter budget.
I like the word trying.
Trying.
Sounded like there was a lot of pushback.
There was
I'm
a
still
lot of
trying.
pushback.
Yeah.
It's
She don't wanna sleep on the couch tonight.
it's a progressive ride. Yeah.
I've learnt a lot, that's for sure, especially the last few years.
You've both been very civil tonight. We've learned a lot, sweetheart. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Rip
it.
into each other later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, look,
You
it
said that.
certainly wasn't easy for Daniel. He would definitely come to me every month and like tried to show me where I was spending. I was like, yeah, but we need more clothes for
We deserve
the
it.
kid.
We need it.
Yeah, and I came from a place where we were comfortable, but we didn't have a lot also. So
Right.
for me, I was like, I'm earning money. I want to be able to buy clothes. I want to be able to spend my money how I want to spend my money
Okay.
and try and save also.
So
but,
you'd started trying to not enforce, but started trying to rein it in a bit from 2018 onwards.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we were looking at ways to pay off our house quicker, and also just because we wanted to have another kid.
Okay.
We knew that she was going to be out of work again for a bit. So how do you keep going and without flatlining?
Yep.
So we tried a few different things. So we went at the time in 2018, we got into like an Airbnb kind of business arrangement. I don't know if you know the full story of this or how far I should expand on this, but
Do it.
Go for gold.
so we had a subletting arrangement. So you'd rent off someone who owned the house.
Yep.
And then
you'd
we would
sublet.
apartment.
sublet.
and
So
we would sublet.
control everything, own nothing.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Principle, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were involved in everything though. So you did more of the finance side and I did all of like the housekeeping and the
It was a good test out
Was this
running
in
a business. Yeah. So in Olympic Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a lot of the sports events and things there and concerts.
Well, you can get a week's rent in 2 nights or a night if there's a big concert on, right? You get it in one night.
Yep. It was actually quite good. We were going really well for we borrowed some money as part of the business that you might have we can tell you about later. But it was going quite well, and we weren't paying ourselves because we were kind of like working up to a point where we pay off everything that we'd borrowed.
Yep.
So that when she was off, that could supplement
Right.
the lost income that we would have for
maternity
maternity leave. So we were going really well, and then the first major setback. I don't know if you've heard of the Opal Tower.
I have.
We had 2 apartments in the Opal Tower
We were subletting, yeah.
that we were subletting.
Yeah. So
and
not great.
when it started cracking,
The bookings cracked as well.
100%, yeah.
yeah. We were getting phone calls on Christmas Eve, where people had paid like $6,000 or $8,000 for the week, to like 2 separate couples, and they're on the streets at the moment because they
Got kicked
Got
out.
kicked out the building.
Everyone was told to exit the
So
building.
your Christmas is now being spent fixing their Christmas, which is ruining your Christmas.
Yeah.
Probably no amount of money that's worth that.
Yeah.
No, well, in the end, we lost all of that money. We still had to pay rent. It was like it was this thing that went dragged on for a long time.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
But we stuck through it, and we let it keep going up till we were just about to break even again.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah was pregnant at the time,
pregnant,
so we were
yeah.
like, "Yep, good timing." We're just about to go and pay ourselves, and then COVID happened, and then all the bookings got cancelled, and then all the debt came back because we had to break all the leases and everything. So that's 2020, and that's when I started looking for another solution.
Yep.
And that's when I came across you, pretty much.
Okay. Was that stage event, personal
It
development
was
event?
one of those wealth. It wasn't you were doing it on a webinar,
A webinar, okay.
but it wasn't just you. It was
Oh,
four or
probably
five others.
Robert or
Like
Kim
a
Kiyosaki. There would
yeah,
have been
yeah.
a whole yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, very interesting. Okay, and so then we had home, home loan debt, some business debt, and the investment property.
yes,
Okay, so do you remember how much the home loan was when we started,
about 340.
and the business debt?
15 at the time. We sold a lot of shit to try and pay it down, but yeah.
Furniture and
Yeah.
okay. You would have break lease fees.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
okay. So 340, so about 355 total debt.
Yep.
340 and 15.
Yeah, plus car loan. I can't
Yeah.
remember how much that was.
Okay. And so we started 2020, August 2020. Where do we sit today? So of the 340 mortgage, how much is owing?
That's a two-part question, I guess, because we paid
So
we
the
paid the
home
loan
loan?
off. We
Yep.
paid the home loan off.
Home loan gone in full.
Yep.
In how many years?
Let's count that for a second. It was September 24, so just over
November-
4.5
4
years.
with Infinity.
Was it?
Yeah, August
Yeah.
2020.
Just
August.
over 4 years.
And then
Yeah, September.
So
Yeah,
it's like 4 years and a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 4 years, yeah, so October, November, yeah, 4 years, 2 months.
Yep. Plus the car. But at that point, we'd also got another car, so that debt was around 50,000.
Okay. So 340 when we started, plus 50 for the car, 15 for the biz, so just over 400. Okay. All gone in 4 and a bit years.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a little bit of money spare.
Okay. A little bit of money spare. Then what?
Then we decided.
Look, I was very antsy.
Actually, sorry, go back. So we did a couple of things to get to that point in just over 4 years, right? So if we
Yeah.
go back 2020, we started, we did some you had your existing investment and we did
Yep.
some investing along the way, yeah? So how many investments did we purchase along the way?
We bought, shortly after we joined, we bought 2.
2? Okay. So that was sort of early 2021 now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Thought it was like around January.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started late 2020, got everything structured, ready to go. Early 21, bought 2 investments.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
Then we just kind of,
Did its thing.
just
Yeah.
it's not really a exciting story from there. Really, it's just
Boring, right?
Head
It-
down.
it is a
bum
little
up.
bit.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Until, and then,
and then yeah. So we sold one of the investment properties, the original one we had.
Yep.
I guess the dog, the old dog.
dog,
Yeah.
sell that dog.
Because that one, we didn't. We bought it. It was quite heavily negatively geared,
Yeah.
and it was costing us quite a lot of money for many
which-
years.
Really competes with trying to pay down the home loan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's heavily negatively geared, it needs to go up so much in value
Yep.
to offset the cash flow drain.
Yeah. When I had the realization in 2018, it was actually worth $5,000 less than for what I bought it for the 5 years ago. So it wasn't a very good pick. Not that we picked. We hired another financial expert at the time to
Buyer's aid.
to-
Did they wear socks?
they wore a suit.
Okay.
They came in with a suit.
Oh, they definitely wore socks.
Yeah, I was like,
the
I'm
modern,
pretty sure.
the
Yeah.
modern fancy buyer's agent advisor, they wear like the skinny pants and they don't have socks and
Yeah.
they have,
and
the,
it's like up a little bit higher.
yeah,
around
they
the
don't
ankle.
go like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I like my hem to go to the floor, you
Yeah,
know? It's a bit
yeah.
weird, yeah. I don't know. The little things that matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So that didn't do too well, but we pushed that to the side, got rid of it.
Yep.
Okay. Sold that one. And then what else did we do? We then sold another one.
Yes. So we were just doing our thing, paying down our usual, and we needed a bit of a top up. So we went and asked Saki, or could you get a valuation of the 2 properties that we had? And one of them came in at I think it was $750 a bank valuation. We'd bought it for $600, but then he said, "Look, I don't think the bank valuation is right. We just sold one for $900."
Correct.
And I was like, "Hold on, Zaki, just give me a moment here. If that's actually true, then can I please sell that right now? Because I'll pay off my home loan."
Yeah.
And so
We
that's-
sold 2 in the
that's what we
street.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there've been 2 sales. That's like the value is they go to university for 4 years to be that fucking wrong. It's like you couldn't see those 2 addresses in the same street at like $8.99 and $9 something.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Sold it. And by the time that went through, that was
Do you
September.
remember that property we sourced for you? Do you remember how much we paid for it?
600.
600, and we sold it for how much?
920. 921.
921. Because the bank does 1. So 600. So we made $321,000 in 3 and a bit years.
Pretty good.
Okay. Fuck, I should charge more. So, and do you find that interesting? Because obviously with the previous property and Suit and Advisor, they helped you acquire the property. Cool. There's a service. There's a supposed perceived value exchange there for the guidance. Then you kind of don't really talk to them anymore because you could have done more properties because you did with us. I find it a bit weird. It's sort of transacted and dead. But they're not there to pick up the pieces again, whereas we're like, hey, yeah, look, the bank says this, but we think this, and here's the proof. And you're like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. Well, what? It's like, so how beneficial is it to have that sort of ongoing relationship, like to stay in that role of, hey, we're not going anywhere. As long as you don't go anywhere, we're still here to fucking manage this with you.
Oh, you want to answer that one? No? Okay. It's worked, obviously, for us. And
Sarah doesn't want to answer because she's like, no, because he tells me I'm not allowed to spend any fucking money.
No, I'm just so nervous.
That's all right. Relax.
Yeah.
no,
fine.
it's good to have a plan to keep going.
And and to make sure the person that gives you the plan doesn't disappear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be
That
great.
helps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $321,000 fucking plan. It's $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And we bought 2.
We bought 2. Yeah, we've still got the other one. And then we could buy more.
Yeah.
We should probably buy more.
I
We
think
did
so.
buy more.
We did buy more.
Yeah, we did.
So how many more did we buy?
So after we sold, paid off our house debt,
Yep.
we bought one more off the plan, Maris,
Yep.
Gold Coast.
Yep.
And then once we couldn't do much more until the bank loan for the new house that we were going to buy. Have we talked about that yet?
No.
We haven't? Okay.
No.
All right. We'll go back a step.
So we bought a new home. So we paid off our home.
Yep.
Yeah, then what?
Okay, now this is when I'll go back to when
Look,
we
I
decided.
had been wanting to move for quite some
If
time.
I'm on a budget, this house sucks and I want a new house.
Our house didn't suck, and
Okay.
it was a good house, but I also, I was feeling a bit antsy in there. I wanted to move to a better school for the kids.
Okay, so
and
school catchment, location,
school catchment,
etc.
and closer to like the afternoon activities, making it a little bit easier for the transit.
Yep.
My family also selfishly all decided to move further away.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So it did
Yeah,
work.
got a bit
like,
closer.
A little bit close to them, and then we're closer to friends also.
Where did we move from? So Penrith
Yeah, so we're in Ropes Crossing, and then we moved to Penrith.
to Penrith.
So it wasn't that far, 20-minute difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the lifestyle of it has been a lot better.
As far as commute, sports,
the
school.
location is
The location
top
is
spot.
pretty good. Yeah. So I'm very happy. Yeah.
Okay. So happy in the new home?
Yep.
Okay.
Got some things I would like to do.
Yeah, still got to make it, touch it up, make it our own.
Make it ours. But yeah.
So we got
Very
debt
happy.
on the new home?
Yes.
How much?
Very conveniently, maybe even set up on purpose, 410,000, the same amount that I started with back in 2018. To see how quickly I can do it this time.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've got a couple of investments up our sleeve as well that might, again, because a lot of people just do rapid repay, right? Like they're just paying down the debt, they're strict, they're budgeting, etc. In your case, you're doing a combination of both because you guys were paying down debt as well as then the property. Like, hang on a minute, we'll piss that off and we'll start again. Sell 1, buy 2. Well,
Yeah.
in your case, sell 1, pay off debt, buy a new home, and buy 3,
Yeah.
and keep the old one, 4. So we've got 4 investments today. 1 in super,
So 5, 1 in super.
5, 1 in super.
Yeah. So 5 in total, 1 in super.
5 in total. 4 investments, 1 in. Okay, that's pretty good. In the last 4 5,
Not bad at all.
so picked up 1 a year. If you average it over the last 4 5, picked up 1 a year, paid off the first home, got a newer home, nicer area, whatever you want to call it, like more desirable. And now we've got 410 on that we need to knock on the head, and we've got a couple of investment properties.
Yep.
Jeez, it's terrible.
Yeah. When you say it like that, it's pretty
Yeah, I
horrible.
know. When you say it like that, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, it's terrible. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so where to from here? What's the plan for you guys? I mean, you guys are only bubs still. I've got a couple of years on you. I've got more grey than you. Like, you guys are in a great position at 37 years young. What's the overall plan now?
I think the first one is get the home loan knocked off by the time we're 40. 3 years
So
away.
smack that 410.
Yeah, so
in the
get
next
rid of
3
that.
years.
Yeah,
Yep. We
Okay.
want to go on
that's
a
the first
want
goal.
to go on a big holiday for our 40th
Yeah.
and try and take the family with us as well.
Yeah,
Okay. How far apart are your birthdays?
5 months. I'm 5 months older.
2. Ooh, boy.
Good go.
Cougar. Okay, so I just had to put my filter on. I was just like, stop. What was going to come out? So we can do like a joint 40th, sort of somewhere in the middle, or we can wait until it's both birthdays, or we can have 2 separate big parties. But if you're going to do
Yeah.
family and all that, maybe do it in one big hit.
Yeah,
Where do we want to go?
great question.
Well, for my half, it's back to Vegas.
Okay.
Go hard at Vegas.
Go hard in Vegas. Get to LA. Take the kids to Disney World
Yep.
and the theme parks there,
Okay.
and have some adult time in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like mine is ever changing. I don't know. I can't
true.
make up my mind.
Last year it was Greece. Now it's Iceland or Greenland.
Yeah, I think I want to go to Finland now and go.
Oh, and it was Paris before that. So
Yeah.
I mean, all three maybe.
Why
I don't
not
know.
all? Why not all of them?
Why can't you do all? It's like the taco with the kid with the ad, right? Why
Exactly.
can't you do both?
Exactly.
Okay. So big joint or big separate or big 40th family, maybe multiple destinations would be
Yeah.
really cool. Really cool. Okay, take the kids, family, and have some adult time on those trips. What about so young family? What about as far as at home now financially? Are the conversations the same, different, similar to 2014 or 2018?
Very different.
Very different.
Especially on my end. Daniel was very much the let's try and stick to a budget. Like, don't impulse buy. Wait till we have the money before we can purchase something. And I was like, nope. Nope.
So that will cause friction, right?
Yeah, that
Yep.
was the only thing that was probably really causing friction. Yeah.
So when did that change?
I feel like it's slowly
It's been very progressive.
it's been progressing over time. Definitely since we joined Infinity.
Did it? Was
Yeah.
there like when the house was paid off, the old home, was that a bit more of a trigger to be a bit? Oh,
Yeah.
this is real. Did it sort of step up a bit then, or
Yeah.
it sort of just slowly progressed?
I would say it happened again once we decided to buy or go back into debt to upgrade the house.
Yeah.
into
'Cause
the
of-
new home.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because once you paid off the home loan, you're kind of
do
a little
whatever
bit
Yeah.
free. Well, what's the what's
Yeah.
the excuse?
Yeah, then you go, no, babe, we've got a budget for fucking what? We don't owe
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah, you had no cards.
You're talking about going on holidays like every 3 months.
yeah,
Which we could have,
did.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the 4 months that we were debt free, we went on 3 holidays.
Yeah.
So it's like
So it's a
those
bit-
are one of the things we're going to get back to.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting one. So, and hearing so many different things out in the world and social media and the internet, some people are like, don't pay your house off, just pay minimum payments and it'll be worth heaps more in 10, 20 years. And I'm like, yeah, but if you borrow 5, you pay back $1 million, you fuckwit. So you can't actually afford to go on the holidays and you always have got to own your home. So unless you can sell it but still live in it and not pay rent, you're going to pay fucking twice as much as you borrowed. You know, like
Yeah.
the intellect of some people is a little bit lacking in the sales pitch, obviously what we hear in the market. So because you guys are first-hand evidence of that, once you get rid of that bad debt, you can go on holidays again and again, and you can invest more, you can travel more, you can do all sorts of things.
Actually
You don't have
yeah.
to have a budget.
Restricted by the amount of leave you can get rather than
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible first world
Yeah.
problem
It is a first world problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier.
for your bosses.
Yeah. I was like, sure, we can have no debt and go
just-
on all these holidays.
I'm just
but
going to
yeah.
throw out there for your 40th, my happy place in the world is Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
That sounds nice.
When you go to Vegas, it's only about an hour and a half, 2 hours in a plane. get to make your own tequila.
That sounds good.
Float around the pool all day.
That's a good one.
If you like tequila, so
Yeah, I do like tequila.
I'm going to send you a link. I become a different human being. I get in the car, they're like, welcome home, Mr. Home. They have these little baby, I don't even like beer, right? They have these little baby Corona things in there. And I'm like, okay. I've got my little hat and my Hawaiian shirt. Love it.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely try Cabo.
Yeah.
Close to Vegas too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why not?
We'll add that
We're
to the
like a-
list.
What you
yeah.
do is the family thing. Then you can go adult time, Vegas, Cabo.
Yeah.
Then back to family.
Yeah, exactly. But coming back to that question about family life, definitely conversations with the kids around, because I used to they'd be like at the shops, oh, I want this. And I'd be like, okay, that sounds fun.
Right.
So it was starting to shape conversations around, but do you really want that? Or do you really need that? And maybe we haven't budgeted for it at the moment or this week, but maybe next week we can look into that. Or how about I take a picture and I'll get it for your birthday if you still want it. And most of the times, both the kids had completely forgotten about what it was, the stuff that they wanted.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're actually having more open conversations with the kids.
Yeah.
But it's about stuff, right?
It's just about stuff.
And they're forgetting about a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Unless they really, really, really want it.
Yeah. So there'll be times where they really want something. So our son, he was saving up and he managed to, how much did he save with his birthday money? So Christmas and birthday money this year alone, and he's 9.
I think it was like $620
saved
or
almost
$30.
$600.
Wow.
I'm like, what 9-year-old saves up?
I think he's hustling you guys. If that's a lot of pocket money.
That's, birthday,
birthday,
Christmas,
yeah,
all
okay.
of that. Yeah. And
We have a bit of a system. I don't know if you want to explain the token system.
just so at the start of each week, we have like a bunch of tokens, and they're poker tokens. But they don't know that. They don't know that.
They're not gambling
Yeah,
tokens.
they're not. Yeah,
It's tokens.
But it's just, it is either, what is it, like $1 per token, or it is half an hour of some sort of screen time. So it's limiting their screen time, but then still giving them flexibility in the week if they want to muck around on
So, so
TV,
they
or
can choose to
they can choose how they
get
want to.
them money
Yeah.
for something they want, or they can choose to use some screen time.
So if they say, I want to go get on my iPad for an hour right now,
Yeah.
well, they don't get 2 tokens. But if they're not on the iPad, they get 2 tokens.
Yeah. So they get their 10 tokens to start with at the start of
and
the
they
week.
lose them if they
And
want.
then they
have to
just
hand
have
them
to
over.
pay it in a sense.
That's epic.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
we also have some bonus tokens for every day, so
Yeah.
they can
Good
get one.
parenting, guys.
Yeah. So
so
trying.
Being kind is one token. Being creative, so like I don't know, drawing or
You
Drawing.
building
guys
Lego
need
or
to open
something.
up a school for parents.
Oh.
Seriously, come on. How many, don't know, friends, family, people we know, parenting is throw an iPad or throw a phone.
It's very easy just to do
Or
that.
just
And
ignore.
I'm not going to lie, like we've done it before. But
Still
then
do
we've
it every now and then.
Every now and again, but then you do kind of go, nah, I really need to make sure that what they're doing is productive in their
they've
day.
got screen time, kindness.
Yeah, being kind, being creative, and
being
being healthy. So whether or not that's going to the park, going on your bike, playing out in the backyard or something like that.
I love
So
this.
we're trying to encourage them doing those types of activities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or eating food they haven't tried before,
Oh,
which is
yes.
So like
parents
eating
will
Brussels-
relate.
Kids are,
I don't like Brussels sprouts. You've never eaten Brussels sprouts.
Yeah,
That was me
yeah.
as a kid. I don't like them. When did you have them? At my friend's house. You didn't go to anyone's house. I don't like them.
Yeah, yeah. So they
Okay.
then get to save that up. So our son also, he's got like his own little bank, which he puts the tokens into.
There's a passcode on it because his
passcode.
sister likes to try and steal it.
Oh, really? So she's the savvy one, is she? She's the thrifty one.
Yeah, but they're different colors. So it's clear if they've been taken.
She's
But
still a bit young. She's
Five
we're
next
easing
week,
her
2
into that
weeks,
one,
yeah.
but our son's a bit older, so understand a bit better.
yeah.
Yeah,
Try to
Nine's a
teach
good-
him that delayed gratification of saving up for something like his.
Nine's
his
a good.
Switch.
I have
Yeah.
so many vivid memories of 9. It's like it's a really good age for them to learn. Like so
Yeah.
many vivid memories of that age. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Okay, good parenting. Good kudos to you guys. So, do you have other financial conversations at home with them, or the 9-year-old, or both of them? Like you say, so shopping. Like, well, look, we'll take a picture, or of course, if the coolest thing out at the moment is the new scooter, right? Every kid's got a scooter. It's on their mind every day.
Yeah.
So that might be a birthday or Christmas. You can't sort of just think that they'll forget about the scooter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at basic toy you can. But do you have other conversations at all around money with them, or finances, or budgets, or trips, or?
Look, just related to like those ads. I guess when the ad comes up on the TV, we're trying to teach them, hey Archer, what do you think they're trying to sell you here?
Right.
And like try and get him to think about,
being aware.
That you don't have to buy everything. People are trying to convince you to.
Well, if you bought everything that was on telly, you'd have... It'd
Exactly.
actually probably be impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's actually told me on a couple of proud occasions that you'll see someone buy something. He goes, why did he buy that? It's such a waste of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Good
it,
boy.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're learning.
He's like, 9 years old. Wow. He's starting to understand the psychology of money already. That's pretty invaluable.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
And not just, instantly buying something. Like if there's something really important that you want, like you'll save up for it. Like even younger, he was saving up for big Lego pieces and he'd save like $100.
Wow.
And of his like own saved money. And then I'd get him to go in and he would pay the cashier with his own money and we'll go through that. And I'm like, this is how it works. So, yeah.
Wow. You've done a very good job, guys. You should be very proud parenting-wise. That's cool. I like the token system. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
I'm going to reframe that and I'll call it the Tibbs way of life or something for you.
Tibbs tokens.
Tibbs token. There you go. Did you just patent pending?
Just then.
Tibbs
Yeah,
token.
I'm done for the day, guys.
All right, tequila. Well done. I like that. Tibbs token's done.
Yeah.
Sold. Trademark, patent pending. So where to from here? Like obviously we're in the new location, the new home. You said there's a few things you want to do there. We want to knock that on the head, that debt, that 410 whatever, in the next couple of years. What's the plan outside of that? Is it just to get rid of the debt? Are we still building wealth? Like where to from here?
Just keep going.
Just keep going?
Yeah, there's no
I feel
plans
like
to
we've
stop.
got no set plan exactly. We were trying to have a conversation about this and we're like, it just kind of keeps changing and evolving. Like at first I think it was like, let's pay off the mortgage. And then we're like, okay, we're getting close to that. How many IPs do we want? And then now it's like, oh, okay, if we want to live a certain way in our retirement, what do we need to do? How do we reverse engineer that to get there?
So it's all evolving really. It's
Yeah.
from like to here, then to here. So there's a lot evolving along the way.
Oh, well, beforehand, like you say, you'd be thinking, I'm going to pay off the house in 4 years, and then that's a bit unusual, right? You don't really think much beyond paying off your house.
Yeah, but engineer, you wrote a list, you did your numbers 36 times, you checked them, you flicked them, you ticked them.
I did, but it's still a bit
It doesn't seem
unreal
right.
when you do it. And then once you do it, and then you see how much we can do, it was well above what we thought we could do before. So that's why it's changing. The goals are getting higher.
Bigger.
Bigger.
So things are opening up, right? Like it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hang on. So you start here, here,
Yeah.
okay.
The growth is a bit exponential. Like I guess from the time we bought our first property, which did marginally nothing for a while, but like I said, you sell one, you buy two, and you buy.
That's probably a good
two,
point
like
because the
three.
prior property was it 2014. You bought the first investment.
Yep.
Was it? Yep. And then we flicked that in 2021.
2022, I think.
So that was like a 8-year hold. You would have expected probably a bit more. But then the first one we did, we made 321 grand in like 3 years. Not even probably probably less than by the time we bought it and it finished it. So that's probably a much better experience, I guess. So having had that experience now, that would open up, I guess, more as well, because you think, well, hang on, if you're out of our portfolio right now, we've got these transactions here. Well, just if that one replicated that, or if those two replicate, like, kind of the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
Then we're back to no budget.
Yeah, and holidays.
Yeah.
And now leave is our biggest problem again.
Yeah, first
and we've
world
come full
problem
circle again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it'd be good to get to a point with a little bit of cash flow is not the right word, but knowing that we have enough money that we can work less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially me, I would like to work less.
Yeah, Daniel does a lot of hours. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I mean,
I say that now, but I do.
He is a bit of a
Probably
workaholic. I
can't
don't
help
know.
myself.
Yeah, I say that too. And then
Yeah.
Beck's like, do you want to take it? You should take the day off. And I'm like, I've got all this stuff to do because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard. So that's changed quite a lot. So, And look, you will get to the point, I mean, cash flow is one thing, but getting, $400 or $500 of rent or whatever after you pay your debts, it's much easier to get to the point where you've got 8 or 10 and you can sell one every 2 to 3 years and pull in 300,000
Yeah.
and half of it's tax free. And you go, oh, well, I've made 100 grand a year and half of it's tax free. Well, I'll work part time.
Yeah. We were having this conversation in the car. We were listening to one of your podcasts. And what was it? I was like, I want to do that. I just want to sell a property and 100K that year, and then that's my income.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, I was like, what was it called? A
Sophisticated investor.
sophisticated investor. I was like, that sounds all right.
Yeah. Well,
I could do that.
It's a nice title.
Yeah. So for Beck and I now, and you see, I show it at Rem now. Like, here's 100, and I think I did 110 mil there, and we bought 4 last weekend for family. So
Yeah.
I'll turn it into 115 mil now. Like,
Yeah.
and there's other stuff going on, but I think I show heaps for people. Right?
Yeah.
Be really transparent. I don't show all of it. But I think it's really cool to get to that spot, because for us now at a private institution for banking, so there's like retail banking, business banking. We bank with private bank, fortunately. They look at our financials once a year, and then I can just ring them and go, hey, I bought these 10 houses and I want to borrow money for tax. And they go, yeah, no worries. And I don't send any financials. I don't do anything. I get an email with the terms and I write back, I agree. And then 3-4 days later, they go, here's your loan documents for your investment property. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
But then in the financials now, it's a first world problem, because if you're selling multiple properties, then you can become a professional investor. I've got years and years of tax returns of showing multiple, and they've got the valuations, and they've got they can see these transactions going through to go, yeah, this guy makes money out of buying and selling real estate. Like, it's a thing. So that's a pretty cool spot to get. And you don't need it to be like I've done. I've got fucking more issues than Vogue, right? So it's probably too much. But the average family gets 5 or 6 over a period of time, and you get in there now. We only need to sell one every couple of years. I mean, a 10-year plan could be to sell one every 2 years, but you don't just sell, right? We sell one, we buy 2.
Yeah.
Or we buy a more expensive one.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or a better view, or location, or ocean, or river. So it's just that realignment of your portfolio. But again, as things, I guess, grow, you're like, oh shit, you open up to the next phase, and you open up to the next phase. But it is a cool spot to be in, to go, oh, just sell that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got to pay tax on your income. You know, CGT discount,
Yeah.
you're not paying tax on half of the sale.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll fuck that
We're
loophole
still
up at some
ahead.
point.
We're still
You're
ahead.
still ahead. Yeah.
Hey?
We're still ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so most people don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about friends and family? Have you felt okay? This will be good.
Yeah.
How have you been able to help any friends or family, or is money a taboo topic with friends and family? I don't know. Like for me,
Okay.
yeah, I don't really blend family money anymore. I've helped a lot of people, but yeah, myself, Beck's family, have helped a lot. But yeah, how does that go for you guys?
We try. It's been a while. I think probably our most recent results have kind of kicked in, make something click with at least some family anyway, and a couple of friends maybe.
So seeing your results and obviously being able
Yeah.
to pay off the home and move home, that's
Yeah.
helped people start thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going this weekend? Oh, up the Gold Coast to buy some investment properties. Why?
Yeah.
On a party, get on the
yeah.
tequilas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we managed to get. I guess my parents are on board now.
Yeah.
They just they bought a place in Ballarat with you guys.
Yeah.
My brother and sister-in-law are on board. They bought a property
So you've got a lot of family that are
Super.
sort of following the journey.
It's taken a while to get them convinced. Actually, to get them in, I kind of just had to. I don't recommend this for most people. I just paid for the masterclass and put them in it, because they're always so hesitant.
Right.
And so by spending my own money, it's like, okay,
I've
You're
taken the
gonna-
risk. I know the reward,
Yeah.
so I'm taking the risk again.
like, you don't want to waste my money, do you? They'll waste their money. They won't waste my money. So force them in there and
I like
put
that.
them in. But yeah, don't recommend that
Yeah.
to everyone.
It could also end in tears.
Yeah, good, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And so it is filtering through some friends and family, because they're seeing proof of the pudding, right? Because you don't want to ram it down anyone's throat, and money's really taboo, so you got to be careful. But you either need them to ask to be able to show, Or you could just fucking pay in force.
You're going.
You're in.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of complaints about it too. Oh, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm
have to
tired.
sign this paperwork. Look at all these papers I have to read. It's like, you don't need to read them. Just sign them.
I love it. And I'm sure they're obviously very appreciative now and they're on the journey and that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not too far in, but yeah, getting there.
Okay. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you guys find now, obviously very recently started sharing your story, which we appreciate because it's, you know, you hear someone else's story like Megan and Jeremy, so you see them at the booth, I know that.
Yeah.
How have you found interacting with people in the community at the big events, like 500 people, right? Like, how are you finding that?
I mean, when we went to REM a couple of months ago, we were kind of, even though we've been with Infinity for a while, we were a bit shy.
Yeah.
And everyone was lovely. But then when we went to be guest speakers last month, we really made the effort to go, no, everyone's feeling the exact same way we are.
We are.
A little bit kind of shy. We're all in the same room for the same goal, but hesitant to talk to each other. So we made the effort to go find those people that looked like us that was standing to the
In
side.
the corner, yeah.
And a little bit quiet, and we just went up and we're like, okay, we're just going to go talk to them. And then every single person we spoke to was lovely and had their own little story and were very engaging and happy to talk to us, and would sit at the table with a whole bunch of people. We changed tables and we were chatting to everyone. And the community, like, not one group or couple were weirdos or anything like that.
If
They
you
were
find a
wonderful.
weirdo, you got to let me know. So
Yeah, no,
I
they
think
were.
we're getting very good at saying no to certain people
Yeah.
and yes to the right people. I think that's important.
Yeah, the community, every single person is so encouraging and really roots in your corner, even on like the Facebook community group
Yep.
has been so wonderful, especially because we did 75 hard last year.
Yeah,
And
let's talk
even-
about that. How is
Yeah.
that?
Look, I didn't want to do it when he made me do it at first. I was like, this
Took
sounds
a few months
awful.
of convincing. Yeah.
I was like, who would do that? That's terrible.
You have to be mentally disturbed.
But then started, and I think the first week was the most challenging, but then I kind of was like, okay, we're in a routine, let's just go. And then we both smashed it out.
And they would have been 2 young kids as well. Would have been really hard.
Yeah, so I had to get them involved in my exercise.
Okay.
So we're going for
Lots
bike
of tantrums.
rides, and there was walks. I don't know why walks are so difficult. Like they they want to go out, but then
Don't want to walk.
they don't want to walk or don't want to ride their scooter, and I have to carry it. But that's okay. So but they really started to enjoy it, I think, and the quality time of just hanging out for that 45 minutes.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
And what about food at home? How did the kids struggle with the change of food?
We eat pretty healthy
we already
anyway,
eat.
so
Okay,
food
Wasn't a big shift for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We don't eat a lot of takeaway like we used to, but we really reined it in for 75 hard, and then we just would do fake away, like make burgers at home, but like really delicious, still healthy.
Yeah, bread thins and this.
Yeah, like we made it work. So it wasn't really a big change for them with food. I think it was just, trying to get them involved in exercise more. And at first they were like quite hesitant, but now it's not so bad.
Bit of a norm now.
Plus, they get an extra token every day, you know. For
Yeah, I was
being
going to
healthy.
say, come exercise with me, you got to take
And then they're too tired to want screen time because now they've been out for a walk.
Yeah, they're just chill, and go play
If
Lego.
only
or-
they could be more tired.
You're not selling me on this. Hang on a minute. Hey,
yeah.
so tell me, what couple of tips or guidance or what could you share for somebody that's listening along at home that can't join Infinity or not in that position yet, but they're looking for, obviously we've got free webinars and YouTubes and podcasts and books and stuff, but what are some things that you could share from your journey that you think might benefit? Because in your head, where you've been, the levels of, almost enlightenment, like this is how we're doing it. Oh shit, this is how you do it. Oh,
Yeah.
What could you share, each of you, for anyone listening at home that might help them?
I can probably speak towards the side of the person that is less numbers based and more the person that's quite happy to spend the money.
Okay, so the anti-budget
The
spender.
anti-budget person, is actually, look at your finances and what you are buying, because most of the time you probably don't necessarily need it, or you could just save up for it or just allocate money towards it. So for me, it was no impulse buying. If I wanted something, I had to wait a period of time before purchasing it. And then I found that helped a lot. And then just sticking to the budget. So having a budget to start with, sticking to it, and then you can revise over it if it's too high, too low, or anything like that. So
And how hard was that? When did you like, all right, we're doing how hard is it to, as a couple, agree on terms, so to speak, like, and meet in the middle? Because obviously when there's a mortgage, more desire to do it. No mortgage, holidays, right? Mortgage again. How hard is it to get on the same, I mean, I know it's fucking hard, but how hard is it to get on the same page as a couple? When one of you are yin and one of you are yang, but you're perfect together, how hard is that?
yeah, do you want to, because
I don't know, this second time round, it seems a lot easier, to be
I'm a
honest,
lot
because
more
we have
on
a bit
board.
Okay.
And
The
have
first
my
time was a lot
structure.
harder?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was taking steps to get better. And every year I was like learning and improving.
Can we be really raw and really honest for a second then? At the start of this, we go, right, food, fuel, fun is X. Do like, yep. Where you're like, oh, yeah. And then just fucking go to Kmart.
Oh, I would tap on.
So you'd just be seeing the alerts and go, oh, yep, so much for the
And
fucking
then
plan.
every month he'd be like, Sarah, we're in the red. Sarah. And I'm like, yeah, but I needed to buy the clothes for the kids. I needed to buy this. I needed to
So
buy
I've
that.
really become an enabler because by selling that fucking property to clear the debt, she's like, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll just sell something in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It was like that beforehand, but
I think I'll be a lot better. I've got a lot more knowledge and I've worked on my impulse control and just realizing that the kids don't need all these really nice clothes. Like, it's nice to have something every now and again for a special occasion, but kids don't really care what they're wearing, really. They just kind of want to hang out with me more time with mummy and daddy is the
Time's the big one, right?
time is a big one. And that is what I'm, over the last year or two, it's really kind of kicked in for me where I'm like, you don't need to necessarily buy them all the things.
Yeah.
It's
Just do cool shit with them.
just go to the
Just
park
hang out
with
with
them. Just hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
What would you say for people that can't get on the same page? I mean, you guys obviously fucking amazing parents with a token system. Is there any guidance you can give to people as a couple, like obviously young couple going through life? What tools do you guys use if it's something you can think of to share? Like, how do you try to get on the same page? And then if you're not, if Sarah's like, oh, but we needed this, how do you then not have a blow up and an argument over it? How do you work through that day to day? Because a lot of people struggle with this, right? There's no handbook on being a married couple.
we have like an arrangement, I guess. That sounds really weird now.
I was like, where are we going with this?
All right, I'm all ears.
So, and we've had this for even
understand.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah,
long
okay,
time
with the
ago.
note,
We
yeah.
have like our own money.
Yep.
So every week out of the budget, we will give ourselves in our own separate bank accounts.
like
that we
$50
can't
each.
Yeah,
do
access.
just
whatever you
$50
want.
each.
Okay,
And
yep.
there are
So-
no rules
Because I
on
set
it.
a lot of clients up with that back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, you take 50, you take 50. You want to buy your wife flowers? Awesome. You want to punt it at the pub on Friday
Yeah.
on beers with the boys or pokies? Awesome. So that's kind of like your adulting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do that. And so I've got a bit of a plant obsession. So if I come home with a plant in my arm, I'll be like, it was with my own money.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
And-
you guys
yeah.
are being quite practical in an arrangement around it. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's still us money as adults. You
Yeah.
both work, you both contribute. This is the family plan. And then there's an allowance in there for you to just adult.
Yeah.
Is that a fair
Yeah. Yeah.
explanation?
Yeah.
Okay, because I used to set a lot of clients up where they're like, but because I used to say to clients, like, you fucking share bodily fluids, but you don't share bank accounts. I don't know,
Yeah.
I get a lot of people like, our money's separate. I'm like, what do you mean your fucking money's separate, right? We just
Yeah.
live in separate beds.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important one for some people going, okay, well, let's merge forces. Let's attack together. Together we're stronger. But hey, I need $100 and you need $100 or whatever the number is, right? I like that. That's good.
It works well for birthdays too. So then
You can
like-
save
Oh,
up.
you have
You
to
can
buy
save
it. That's
up.
the rule.
Then you're like,
Yeah.
no
And then they can't
plants,
see it.
No plant. No, you
Yeah,
gotta
that's
sa-
literally what it was recently. His birthday just passed, and I was like, "Oh, I can't go buy that plant," but that's okay.
You got plant withdrawals.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think
Cool. That's
yeah.
cool. I like that. That's a good one for people listening in at home.
And like it came about originally many years ago. Just we had I'm on a salary, so no matter how many hours I work,
Yep.
I get paid the same amount. And when you first kind of start out, you might be living together or whatever, but not still sharing your money.
Yep.
but it can get a bit lopsided because one person might be earning more than the other or have a different arrangement. And Sarah wasn't on a salary, so when she did overtime, she got overtime.
Right.
So even though
got paid for my overtime,
got paid
where
for
you
overtime,
didn't.
so I was doing
Passion overtime.
I was doing more hours, but Sarah was getting more Sarah money.
Yeah.
And that didn't it's like we're joint force, got to contribute
I need
here.
some Sarah money.
Yeah. That's my money that I've earned on overtime. Yeah.
So that helped flatten that out because
Yeah.
now the tables, like, she used to earn a lot more than me, and now it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there's a shared goal, and we all get the same amount of money no matter who brings in what.
So you guys are a really good team.
Yeah.
Try to be. It's a lot of work, but we put the work into it.
Relationships, families, money, health, nothing works without daily effort.
Yeah.
You've got to try to put equal amounts to all these conflicting priorities, right? You can't do everything perfect.
No.
But you can do a lot of it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we probably could have paid off the loan quicker than we did, but we decided that it was more important that Sarah stayed home, did some part-time work with the kids at the young age. So you just got to
off for a year
make
with the
those
kids and then
adjustments where you need to.
Well done, guys. Should be bloody proud.
Yeah. I mean, it's not until someone points it out that you kind of go, oh
Yeah, you've done
we're
bloody.
doing all right.
Yeah, paid off the house, bought another house, got a heap of investments, pay this one off short. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Done really bloody well. So we're going to do this again in 6 months' time. So I want you to make a prediction for me. So it's June now. December this year, we'll get you back in. What will have changed or what will have grown in 6 months' time? Do you think anything at all?
We should have less than 200,000 left on the mortgage is the plan.
And the balance today?
Balance today is 385.
385. And sorry, you think we'll have what left?
Just under 200 is the goal.
185 grand gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you figure that one out. That's on you.
I already got it. It's already there.
You got
Him
this-
and Zachy can have a chat.
Everyone's heard it, right? 185 odd grand. All right, I'm staying out. We're selling something clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. Righto. Okay. Now, so 185 grand gone on the loan, and I'm assuming you're going to debt recycle that. You're going to continue to build the portfolio.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many are you planning to add, or what are you planning
As
to add?
many as Zaki will let me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, I was going, let's go for 10.
I'm
but
chopped liver. I'll go fuck myself. Whatever Zachy says, no worries. I like it. This is great. I'm retired.
Yeah, done.
So you go. So did you say go for 10?
Why? Yeah, I was like, oh, would 10 be good? And then I was like, we could probably go bigger than that.
So what, it doesn't really, whether the number is what the value, I guess.
Yeah.
The
maybe
performance
maybe
and
the
the-
quality
It
of the
doesn't-
property. Yeah.
Like the ones we've got, I guess we purchased now are worth more than the ones we started with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're slowly entering a different level.
Yeah,
Some
it's
different bracket,
caliber,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, there's some pretty fancy shit in there.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a couple of good ones in there. We're like, ooh.
Fancy
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah.
When we were at REM, I was like, I'd live there.
Yeah.
I'd happily live in those buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, okay. Well, so we're going to do this again in 6 months. We think we're going to add some more investments. We're going to. You've called the loan. We'll see what you and Zachy come up with in the next in 6 months. We're going to sell something by the sound of it. But before we wrap up, I want to know if you have any questions for me or for the business. And Zachy's not here today, but any questions you might have for me.
And that's where we're going to pause.
So I like Tom's question from the recent podcast, actually. Like, if you were in our shoes now, knowing what you know, what would you be doing?
Ooh, them's fighting words. Okay, what would I be doing? It sounds like you're already pretty much on the way. You know there's an asset there that we could liquidate that will clear a big chunk of debt recycle that straight away. I would probably be more aggressive, okay? And the only reason I'm saying more aggressive is every deposit I could access, even knowing, now this is pretty out there, okay, this is what I call G strategy, even knowing you might not have capacity to settle 3 more properties in 3, say you go year 2, buy one and settle in a year, second one settles in 2 years, third one settles in 3 years. We have a housing crisis. We cannot catch up with supply demand. Our demand is way outstripping supply. That even if it was to change tomorrow, who's going to build them? Where are the suppliers? Where are the trades? We can't catch up if you listen to Doc and I on the podcast. So given that clear data set that we can't catch up, that's a problem, right? So I would be considering strategically hyperextending myself and going, right, we've got 4 today. Go, if you have the liquidity, go put deposits on another 4. One to happen 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, like pre-plan them out, like stuff that doesn't exist yet, knowing that we have to sell investment 1 we have today that's moving along. We have to sell it to settle number 5. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Then we have to sell number 2 to settle number 6 and number 3. And eventually we won't have to sell. We'll have the capacity, if like a reset. So if it were me, and this is what I'm doing and have been doing, but now serviceability is not an issue, I hyperextended myself strategically, knowing that when I got to settlement for that particular set of keys, I had to sell one of these set of keys. And I could pick when I got there. Now the risk is, but that if I get to here and the market hasn't moved, like I can't see the market not moving. And even now the lamestream media has gone from prices are going to crash 20%, they're going to grow 12, they're going to grow 7, they're going to grow. So with all the indicators and data and intellect we have, we know we have a housing shortage. If rates continue to go down, that increases borrowing capacity, which means it increases what people are capable of spending, which increases values. It's just an organic flow effect. So if it were me, knowing what I know, I would consider, especially at your younger ages, taking a little bit more risk. Only because you've got time in the market to get a return. And if one thing didn't go as good as 3 things, which we've had some great, some not, if one thing, that's 1 of 8 now, say, instead of 4. Okay, well, that one didn't make any money. It's net. But these other 7 have all grown 6% per annum. Because it's that whole, like the airbag, it's the controlling the leverage. So you got 100 grand, put a deposit on $1 million asset. If that grows at 6%, you made 60 grand. If it grows at 10%, you 100% return on investment. You're 100 grand down, made 100. You're controlling and leveraging that asset value. So that's the only thing I consider. Young family, no, don't do anything risky. Young, time to recover, maybe do something risky. I don't know where that's it. But
I think that's kind of actually how we're sort of structured now, because the
is
values of the ones that we have purchased
Yeah.
are quite high. So we actually will need to do what you're
and
saying.
I call it like daisy chaining or shuffling the deck chairs, or a bit of a stretch strategy. So you're constantly aiming a little bit higher.
Yep.
You're also probably starting to buy some investment properties that families want to buy to live in. So we've got to think about the exit before we enter, which means, you're buying a property, you would live in it.
Yeah.
Somebody will walk in on auction day, say, and spend a lot more, as opposed to, I've got my property I bought as an investment and I'll only ever sell it to an investor based on its rent. So they're sort of different in times,
Yep.
the transactions. But yeah, it's similar to how you're sort of there now, but you could go even a bit further. But again, that'll just be a Zaki mathematical formula, my sign off, away we go.
Yep.
You never want to go too far. But that would be the only, it's a good question. Tom Putney, I was like, okay. But you could stretch a little
I
bit.
stole that one.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good one. I rate it.
Yeah.
I rate it. Anything else?
I don't think so. Not from my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you should be bloody proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Really
having
bloody
us.
proud. Appreciate you sharing your story. And he's pumped now because he's given us a number. So it's like
Yeah.
December this year, before we all break for Chrissy.
They're cracking the whip on me.
It's going to be, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to have like the best bottle of tequila on the planet to celebrate if we hit the number.
Easy.
Oh, here we
At
go.
the Christmas party?
Here we go.
Huh?
At the Christmas party?
Christmas party's 29th of November. But if you hit it by then, we'll have it then too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can
We're a
happen.
couple of weeks early, but hey, if we hit it, we'll hit it.
Sounds
Deal?
good to me.
Gotta go hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Done. We're
Done.
on. Well done, guys. Appreciate you sharing.
Awesome.
No worries. Thank
Thank you.
you.